Hordak's ready to rock you like a hurricane. Yes, kids, Hurricane Hordak is coming to MattelCreations.com, and he will be available as part of the Masters of the Universe Origins line. His pre-order will go live on April 23rd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and that's going to be noon on the East Coast for the general public, but there will be 24-hour early access for Club Grayskull members. And he is going to be $25, and that is consistent with what they have been charging for deluxe figures like this in the past. And so we're not seeing a price increase yet on Masters Universe Origins on Mattel Creations. But this is most likely a figure that is unaffected by the current increase in tariffs. So when Mattel accidentally sent that figure of Voltak to the person who ordered Rio Blast a little while back, we got confirmation that Mattel has these figures in the warehouse well in advance, months in advance of them going up for pre-order. And so they probably have several figures sitting there in the warehouse waiting for them to go up on MattelCreations.com that haven't even been announced yet. And so likely their stock of Hurricane Hordak has been here quite a while and shipped well before the tariffs increased. Now, we did see a slight increase of several dollars for the new retail figures that went up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store right after the tariffs were announced. Unlike a lot of other toy companies, Mattel spent a fortune to move their manufacturing from China to Vietnam to avoid tariffs. And then, of course, with these new rounds of tariffs, they got slapped with some pretty high ones in Vietnam. But now there is a 90-day pause with a 10% tariff on Vietnamese goods. The big problem currently is that the Chinese tariffs have shot up to 145% and pretty much screwed over everyone else. I've already done a video on how Fresh Monkey Fiction has had to cancel their Longbox Heroes Kickstarter that included a Tarzan figure because of the tariffs. And Chicken Fried Toys finally has the first figure in their Cops line done. It was ready to ship, but it did not make it out before the tariffs, and they've had to postpone it indefinitely until the tariffs are resolved. But it's still happening. You can still pre-order it on Chicken Fried Toys' website. The United States appears to have a particular type of animus towards China, but who knows what's going to happen with anybody after those 90 days. Vietnam, like a lot of other countries around the world, is currently trying to negotiate with the administration and appease them, and we'll see how that works out. Speaking of fun with fascists, Hurricane Hordak. So this is our new figure, and yes, he does have the vac metal armor, and you'll notice he does have two hands here because the Hurricane piece is actually going to be an attachment that you'll be able to put on his arm, and so it should work with any of the Masters Universe Origins figures. And here he is with that attachment on there. It looks like it should be able to double as an arm cannon, and you'll notice he does come with an alternate head that looks awesome. Got your punk rock Hordak. This is based on some early concept art for Hordak, and I think that's a really cool bonus to put in there. And so here's everything he's going to come with. So he's got the alternate head, he's got the cannon / hurricane attachment, plus 3 different spinning blades that you can put in there, just like the old figure. And he does have a spinning feature. It works a bit different than the old figure, but according to this video, it does work. And here is the packaging. As always, it is absolutely gorgeous. You've got that deluxe packaging with artwork that wraps all the way around the box, and it looks fantastic as always. And here's the artwork on the back. He's sporting that punk rock head again, the prototype head. And we see a couple different fright zones in the background. And of course, a tease for Dragstore, who we know is coming, and maybe even other figures we might get. Look, there's Despara. And Hurricane Hordak is, of course, based on his vintage figure, which you see here. He was part of that last wave of variants that most of us saw with Flying Fist He-Man and Terror Claw Skeletor. Hordak's hurricane powers have appeared in animation, in comics, in mini-comics. Probably the most notable appearance to me was in the Hordes of Hordak mini-comic, where he got to use his hurricane powers against the heroic warriors, along with a whole army of Horde troopers. And here's that early concept art on your left that new head comes from. And that's pretty cool that they threw that in there. And of course, on your right, you see the design we did get in Filmation. And of course, that is come out as a figure in the cartoon collection. And so you can order that on Big Bad Toy Store or other places that sell toys. And of course, there were plenty of earlier sketches of Hordak, of what he could have looked like. And if you're wanting one of that very earliest drawing of Hordak on your left, yes, that does exist. Because Mattel recently put out a 2-pack with concept art versions of Hordak and Grizzlor in it. This is part of their sketchbook series. So if you want to army build different versions of Hordak, feel free. According to the release calendar on Mattel Creations, Hurricane Hordak isn't the only Masters of the Universe thing coming this month. There is something mysterious that's solicited for April 28th at 9 a.m. That's when the pre-orders for it are supposed to go up. That's going to be noon on the East Coast, but we don't know what it is. I doubt it's something in the vintage collection because obviously we just got Hurricane Hordak a few days earlier, so it's probably something in Masterverse or the cartoon collection or maybe something completely off the wall. I don't know if I'll do a follow-up video on that if it's not vintage collection, but it's something to keep an eye out if you're interested. And Mattel seems to have upped the production on the vintage figures that they sell through Mattel Creations. They used to sell it within hours or days, but starting with Geldor, we've seen them stay in stock and you're able to buy them anytime you want to, which I think is great. But we never know when that's going to change. So if you want to get in there early on the 23rd, just to make sure you have it, or use that Club Grayskull 24-hour early access. It's understandable. And I wish everyone the best of luck in their toy hunts. All right, like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, good journey.